Alright guys, today we are going to be starting Unit 10, which is volume. So if you have not already either printed out or sent the notes to yourself on Notability so that you can take notes, make sure you go back in the agenda and do that first so that you can follow along with the notes today. Alright, so today we are going to be looking at volumes of cylinders actually. Not cones, that's a lie. Alright, so our goal today is to be able to find the volume of a cylinder using the formula and using the formula for volume to find other missing dimensions like the height or radius or something like that. So the formula that they gave us here is volume equals base, okay, times height. Okay, that's the area of the base. Okay, and if we're looking at the area of the base, okay, if you look at this little note over here, since our base is a circle, base is pi r squared. So our volume formula becomes pi r squared times h, right? Because pi r squared is the area of a circle. Okay, so if we were looking at this first example, all we need to do is substitute in my pieces. My radius is 3 and my height is 6. So that gives me 9 times 6, which would give me 54 pi. And then it said round your answer to the nearest tenth. So if I put that in my calculator, that would give me about 169.6, and volume should be units cubed. Okay, same idea for the next one. So they gave us a radius of 4 feet and a height of 15. So again, volume equals pi r squared h. They told me my radius was 4 and my height was 15. That would give me 16 times 15, which would give me 240 pi. And again, they wanted it to the nearest tenth. So that would be, if we put it in our calculator, about 754.0 feet cubed. Okay. So now in this next example, they gave us the volume and we need to work backwards here to find the height. So again, I'm going to start. My volume formula is pi r squared h. Okay, here they told us that the diameter was 10 inches, making my radius 5 inches, right? So if I plug that in, my volume was 314 equals pi times 5 squared times h, right? And we don't know what h is. So we get 314 equals 25 pi times h. So I want to get h by itself. So I'm going to divide this by 25 pi. Okay, when you do that in your calculator, either make sure you put this in parentheses or calculate what 25 pi is first, so your calculator gives you the right answer. And here we find out that our height is about 4 inches. Alright, same idea for the next one. So here, again, they gave me a diameter, so I'm going to note that my radius is 4 because the diameter was 8. So I get 176 equals pi 4 squared h. 176 equals 16 pi h. Divide by 16 pi. Again, in your calculator, either put it in parentheses or calculate 16 pi first. And we find out that h is about round to the nearest tenth. So that would be 3.5, and this was in centimeters. Alright, same idea here for example 3, except for now in example 3 we are solving for the radius and they gave us the height. So again, my volume is pi r squared h. Volume was 226. I don't know the radius, but the height is 8. So here, right, we're going to want to, I'm just going to rewrite it so it looks a little nicer. 8 pi times r squared, right? So I'm going to divide by 8 pi. So I'm left with r squared equals, and I got about 8.99. And then to get r by itself, I need to take the square root of both sides. So I get r is about 3 feet. Right, they wanted it to the nearest whole number for that one. Okay, same idea for these bottom two down here. So the first one, right, they told me the volume was 28 equals pi r squared times 4. So I'm going to divide by 4 pi. Which would give me r squared equals about 2.23. Square root both sides. So r is about 1.5 and my units were meters. Okay, last one here. Okay, same idea, right? They told me my volume was 564 equals pi r squared equals 4.25. So I'm going to divide by 4.25 pi. Right, that would make those cancel out. So I'm left with r squared equaling about 42.24. Square root both sides. And r ends up being about 6.5, and this one was in millimeters. Alright guys, that is it for today. Go ahead and log into Big Ideas and try out those problems.